Hey everybody, Tori here from Overlook Horizon. Sorry, I'm just getting, I don't know what's going on with my lighting here. It doesn't want to look right. That looks okay. Alright, anyways. So, give it a second here for people to jump into the live stream here. Hopefully my audio is better today and not crackly like it was yesterday. I'm using the good mic now. Here, let me get this here out of the screen so maybe that'll fix my lighting, make it a little bit better. So yeah, today the mission scrubbed, which is a huge bummer. We were having such a good day today, and everything was going great. We were getting this awesome tour of the Kennedy Space Center today, and then about, what was it, like 4 o'clock today, we got the notice that the mission was scrubbed for the day. They were standing down, so to speak, and they were going to, they basically requested the range for Wednesday at 6:52 p.m. Eastern Time, which is about, it's like 20 minutes later than what it would have been tonight. So the launch has been rescheduled now to 6:52 p.m. on Wednesday. And so I just spent the last 3 hours going through all my travel plans and getting everything rescheduled as far as my travel plans. So I am planning on staying until Wednesday. I think I got everything sorted out. I got my hotel is extended, my rental car is extended, and my flight is canceled. So I didn't switch flights because I figured, I don't know, if it gets delayed again, then it's, I don't want to have to pay fees or anything like that or change it, just keep changing it. So as of right now, I have no flight home. So hopefully I can get home at some point, but as of right now I have no flight home. But my flight is canceled and got refunded to me, which is awesome, so I got the money back at least. So I will, I'll figure out a flight on Wednesday. Hopefully I can get on the Thursday flight back home to Buffalo, because they do a direct flight from Orlando to Buffalo every single day. Well, at least weekdays. I'm assuming that, well, and the weekends too, because that's how I got here. It was on the weekend. So yeah, pretty much every single day they have a direct flight from Orlando to Buffalo. But as of right now, I have no flight home, and I will figure that out come Wednesday night if they launch. We'll figure out if I should book a flight home. But I figured, I don't know, if they scrub again, then this is probably better not to have an exact flight booked ahead of time, because this was a huge pain just to I mean, luckily, financially it's fine, not a big deal to rebook everything, but just the amount of time that I had to spend to do all of that was a huge pain. So I don't want to do that again, but I will if they scrub it again, which I hope they don't. But yeah, so other than the scrub, let's talk about NASA Social Day 2 of NASA Social, Day 3 of me being here down in Cape Canaveral. God, how many days am I going to be down here now if I'm here until Thursday? What day are we on now? Today's Monday, so then we got 3 more days of this, so I'm going to be here almost a full week, just about 1 day short of a full week. Oh, man. It's probably, Deborah says it's probably cold at home anyways. I think you're right. I think I heard that it's very cold back home, and it was a very chilly day here in Florida. It was like 65 degrees here in Florida, which was cold compared to the other days, but heat wave compared to back home. Back home it's like 30 degrees or 40 degrees and raining. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could stick around the heat for a little while longer. Cold and rainy back home. Yeah, so yeah, it looks like I'm going to be down here for a little while longer. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself the next couple of days, but let's talk about what we did today, because today was a pretty awesome day. We had a big VIP tour of the whole Kennedy Space Center complex, yeah, I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's just the Kennedy Space Center tour. And it was a VIP tour. We got some special access. So we started the tour off. We went to Swamp Works. Got to see some pretty cool stuff at Swamp Works. I have some pictures and videos from SwampWorks, but SwampWorks was very, very limited in what you could take photos and videos of. So we had an escort with us, and they told us exactly what we could and could not take pictures of. So a lot of the stuff for ITAR regulations we could not take pictures of, so we didn't. So I could just tell you about it. We got to see. There's nothing like top secret that I can't tell you about. I'm not quite to that level yet, but yeah, we got to see the upper stage for. It must have been an SLS upper stage. I don't know. Now I'm wondering if anybody. I'm going to have to ask about that again. But we saw the upper stage that will connect to the Orion crew capsule. That was stored in, it was really had nothing to do with SwampWorks. They were just storing it there, but we got to see the upper stage, which is pretty cool, and the adapter ring that will connect between the upper stage and the actual Orion capsule. Got to see that, which is kind of awkward to see because you don't normally see the upper stage just by itself, so it's kind of cool. We also got to see some space station modules. We got to see some mock-ups and some real modules, and we also got to see their research and development section where they're doing some pretty cool stuff. They had like some they're basically like space drones. They look like they could be a quad, like a typical quadcopter would be, except instead of having propellers and rotors, they had gas canisters. So the idea is they want to be able to send, when they go to the moon or go to Mars, they want to be able to send these space drones that are little itty bitty, like the size of a quadcopter would be, like a drone, like a DJI Phantom drone or something that you'd have. Probably one of the larger ones, but not, it wasn't that big. And they would send these things out exploring ahead of them before they sent any people or big machinery out there. So they had some of those that they were testing, which was pretty cool. They had this big robotic arm that is basically like one of those yellow autonomous robotic arms that you'd see at like a car manufacturer's plant, like Chevy or Ford or any of those. But they modified the head of it and turned it into a 3D printer that basically prints concrete from the lunar or Martian surface, either the regolith or the Martian soil, the dirt. Basically, they're taking the dirt from the moon and Mars, and they're turning it into concrete with a concrete 3D printer arm magic machine. That's kind of crazy. I don't know how they do it, but it's pretty cool because the idea is they'd be able to take this, instead of having to send up all the materials to build a big spaceport, they send up this robot and be like, hey, build us a house. And that's what it does. So it's pretty cool. And it built it so well, it's actually stronger than most of the concrete that we use here. And it was, in their testing, I don't know why they tested it this way, but in their testing, it was bulletproof, which is crazy. They basically do 2 layers, like an outer wall and an inner wall, and then they fill it with sand or the lunar surface dust is what they would likely fill it with there, and then it's bulletproof. Can't get through. So I don't know if they're worried about bullets on the moon, but yeah. So it was pretty cool, pretty strong stuff. And then so we saw that. Let's see, what else did we see at SwampWorks? Oh, and they have a huge lunar simulated room with the lunar surface dirt, the regolith. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm pretty sure that's right, but every time I say it, it sounds funny coming out. Anyways, so they have a whole room where they can simulate it. They have the lunar material in there that they can throw their machinery in and then test to see how it performs and how it survives with kicking up dust and everything else. And so that's pretty cool too. Let's see, did I miss anything? That's pretty much what we saw there. So then we left there and we went to the Falcon 9 rocket on the pad. Was the next thing we saw, second piece. That was pretty early in the morning. If you're following on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, I had some pictures out there. Took a picture with the Space Lobster. Took a whole bunch of videos. I think I posted a video on Twitter and Instagram It would be kind of silly for me to post it on Facebook now because they. I was talking about how the rocket was launching tonight, and obviously it's not going to now. So if you want to see the video I took, go take a look on Twitter and Instagram, because it wouldn't make sense for me to post it now since it's not it's not launching today. But yeah, it was pretty awesome to see. Like, we were super close. Like, you could read the lettering on the rockets, and it was. I mean, even in the pictures, it looks farther away than it felt in person. I think anytime I take a picture with a camera, it always makes it look farther away than it actually is. But yeah, this was super close. We were super close to it. Let's see, I missed somebody's comment. I watched a live stream of an answer and question sessions that they were. Oh yeah, yes, I was at that question and answer session. Oh, PBS live stream? I don't know anything about that. I'll have to. I don't know. Maybe I was on a PBS live stream. I don't know if we were. And, but yeah, so yeah, we saw the Falcon 9 rocket. They actually gave us a ton of time there, which was nice. I was worried they were just going to rush us through there. They gave us a ton of time to take photos and videos, and so I got a whole bunch of stuff with the rocket. And then we took a group photo, and then we left there, and we went over to launch pad. So this was on the Falcon is on pad 40, and so we left pad 40 and we went over to pad 39B. 39B was used in the Apollo era. It was also used for the space shuttle, mostly for the space shuttle, but Apollo 10 also launched from 39B. And a bunch of space shuttles launched from 39B, and then it's, you know, after the shuttle program, it started getting repurposed for the upcoming SLS program, the Space Launch System, which is NASA's next big, huge rocket coming up. So they were almost done with the pad preparations for SLS, and they said they're about a month away. But we got to actually go on the pad. We walked. And we were basically walking on the launch pad. I was looking down into the flame trench of where the rocket is going to exhaust its flame. We got to see the big, huge pipes supporting the water suppression system, the big flame deflector that was going to throw out the flame off to the side safely away. And let's see, what else did we see there? So the new pad, you get to see like the crawler tracks from the shuttle days, which they'll likely still continue to, or they are still going to continue to use. So the intent now, like in the shuttle days and even in the Apollo days, they had this huge service structure at the pad, and they would roll out the launch vehicle to the pad, but they had this huge service structure built at the pad that they would connect the launch vehicle to. But now they're kind of going with bare or flat pads. They're not really flat. There is still some infrastructure there, but it's mostly just like the safety infrastructure and the piping for the liquid hydrogen and the liquid oxygen coming in. Most of it is sensors and wiring and electronics controlling that, and the water suppression system. But for the most part, it's a flat pad, meaning that the main service structure that you would use to get like crew in and out of the vehicle, or to support the entire rocket, is all part of the mobile platform that will bring the rocket to the launch pad. So that you're not only bringing the rocket to the launch pad now you're bringing the rocket and the service structure along with it, and they're building the service structure as part of the mobile platform. And they're basically going to roll that whole thing onto the pad, and then it's a lot faster and easier to launch from there. Plus, they'll be able to support not just NASA missions, but any launch vehicle going forward without having to do a huge reconfiguration project to support a different launch vehicle. So somebody said, can you imagine getting to walk the FOD at the launch pad? Do they do that? I don't. It's been a long day. I don't know the abbreviation FOD. At least I'm drawing a blank on it. You have to tell me what you mean by FOD. And I will answer that question, but I don't know what FOD means. Getting to walk the FOD. I don't know. I'm sure I know what you're talking about, but I'm drawing a blank. So let me know what you're talking about there. But yeah, so we got to walk around there. There was the construction manager that was at the pad was pretty awesome. She did a whole bunch of interviews, and like she basically repeated the interview like 6 or 7 times to all of us that were there listening, which was super nice of her to do because like this is not, you know, she's there to run the construction site and really doesn't care about our, you know, or really has no reason to care about our tour of the construction site, but she was super nice, and so that was pretty awesome. I got some interview footage of her at the pad talking about that. And so we hung out there for a little while. We left there. We went, I think we went to lunch after that. And then after lunch, we went to the press building. Again, different building, but still at the press site. And that's probably the PBS thing you were talking about, or I saw somebody said that it might have been NASA TV that was on PBS. That's certainly possible. It might have been, it's possible. Yesterday we did a NASA TV event that was definitely on NASA TV and was live, and I was definitely on that. I made a NASA TV debut, but I don't know. I don't think we were on NASA TV or PBS today, but it's possible. Maybe when we were at the press site for that second Q&A session, we might have been on NASA TV, but that would have been news to me. But no, we had a Q&A session with, which I live streamed on Periscope on Twitter. That was with there were a couple key people that stopped in. We had the associate director for NASA that came down from Washington D.C. from headquarters. He's the official headquarters representative for the TESS mission launch they were trying to do today. And then we had a couple mission specialists from TESS. And then who else? Then we had a representative from the Kennedy Space Center talk about the services that they offer to these launch providers. So that was pretty cool too. We got to see all of that, and or got to chat with them on that and get some answers. We left there. We went to the vehicle assembly building, which was awesome. That thing is massive. It's even bigger than I thought it was. Like, I mean, I knew it was big, but I guess I didn't realize with the vehicle assembly building that it wasn't just, I don't know, I've always pictured the vehicle assembly building as being like this long building with the big tower in the center where but the tower, I guess, that I was thinking of, once you get inside, there's basically one main aisle that runs down the center of the vehicle assembly building, which is huge. But then there's basically 4 bays off of the sides, which are equally huge. And one of them was set up and built ready to assemble the SLS rocket. So that was cool cool to see all of that set up. And it was interesting to see the differences between that, because the SLS was all brand new, upgraded LED lights and stuff like that. And then you had some of the older section that still had the old, I don't know what kind of lights they were, but definitely weren't LED lights. So I hope I'm still live here, because I haven't seen any comments come in, and my viewer number hasn't changed in a long time. So somebody comment and make sure I'm still live here, so I know this is still working. Anyways, so let's see. So we saw the vehicle assembly building, and there were some mock-ups for the Orion capsule that were full-scale, full-weight mock-ups that they would use, that basically they're doing crane operator training with. So the crane operators are training with the full-scale Orion capsule mock-up, full-scale, full-weight, and using it to move it around the building and make sure they set it down gently and get it in place. And then they also have some of the some of the boosters. Oh wow! Hey, there's all the comments coming in. Jeez, I didn't even see. I don't know what happened. I just got a whole bunch of comments all at once. Probably because I said, somebody comment. Let's see. Oh, Deborah said, don't forget to use Amazon Smile. Oh, yeah, that's right. If you use Amazon Smile and you search for... I'm going to get rid of this light. I don't think this is doing anything. Yeah. I don't know if I like that. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, if you go on Amazon Smile and purchase something from Amazon, if you look up Overlook Horizon, then Amazon will make a donation. Doesn't cost you anything, but Amazon will make a donation to Overlook Horizon, to our nonprofit group. So yeah, let's see. What was I saying? Oh, so they have in the vehicle assembly building, they have the Orion capsule, and then they also have a couple of mock-up booster sections. So they're, the solid rocket boosters are built in these chunks, and they get stacked on top of each other. And they had a couple of those, they had 2 of those sections there where you could, or not where I could, but where the crane operators would test and train on stacking those appropriately. So then let's see, after the vehicle assembly building, then we kind of drove around for a little bit. We got to see the mobile crawlers that are getting upgraded from the Apollo era, or from the shuttle era, and getting upgraded for SLS. And then we got to see we saw the runway the shuttle used for landing operations, which is a huge runway. Like, it's probably 2 or 3 times the size of the runway that would be used for like a full size, heavy plane, like a A320 or 737 or something like that. It's a massive, massive runway, intentionally such just because of how hard it was to land the space shuttle. But it's this very, very long runway. So we got to see that. And, yeah, right. Oh, I missed, actually, after, was it, I don't remember where, yeah, I think it was after the vehicle assembly building, we went to the Launch Control Center, which is kind of like Mission Control. Mission Control's in Houston, which is where once the flights are off the launch pad and clear the tower, then they're controlled by Mission Control in Houston. This is for, of course, like the shuttle launches. Obviously, if it's a SpaceX mission, they have their own mission controls and things like that. But for the NASA missions that are NASA vehicles, those are the mission controls in Houston, but launch control is right there at the pad. And so they have 4, they're called firing rooms. And generally, they're using 2 at a time. They have a primary firing room and a secondary firing room. Primary firing room is usually what you would think of like on TV. If you've ever seen like the mission control centers, is kind of the primary room. The secondary room is set up the same way, but with auxiliary people that can go look up drawings or parts or pictures or things like that if there's ever a problem. But the new firing rooms have been completely upgraded and changed, and are set up a lot more digital, less analog buttons and lights and things like that. Now they're flat screens and touch screens and nice upgraded computer systems for SLS, which is what the Launch Control Center will be used for coming up next. It'll be used for SLS. So yeah, we got to see that. We could not take pictures in the launch control room, which is unfortunate. I don't really know why, because it was mostly just the flat screen computer monitors that were off and keyboards. I don't know. I didn't see anything that was like, oh wow, that's secret. We shouldn't show anybody that. But yeah, it just looked like a bunch of computer monitors to me. But yeah, we weren't allowed to take pictures or videos in there, so you just have to trust me on that. But there was he was a test director, one of the controllers that will be present for the SLS missions in the launch control room, and he was there. He gave us a ton of great info, which was fantastic. And let's see, I think, and that was pretty much after, or right before we went in the launch control center is when we found out that the mission was scrubbed. So the atmosphere, the NASA social atmosphere, definitely took a dive when everybody found out it was scrubbed. So yeah, if you missed and it's a shame that was the case, because it was such a great day right up until that point, and then the mood kind of changed, and everybody was, you got a lot of people that can't stay for the scrub. You got people like me that were like, I might be able to stay, like, I don't know how this is going to work out, and now you're thinking about flights and hotels and what are you going to do and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, the mood kind of changed when we all found out that it scrubbed, but it was a really good day overall. And so the way this will work now, if you missed the beginning, is basically I'm staying. I came down here for a rocket launch. Doggone it, I'm going to get a rocket launch out of this, one way or another. I hope. So I'm staying. I have canceled my flight, got my money back. I extended my hotel, extended my rental car. I'm going to be here for another, I'm going to be here till at least Thursday. I will leave no earlier than Thursday. I could leave later than Thursday. I hope not, but I will leave no earlier than Thursday. There is nothing on the NASA plan as far as I am concerned for tomorrow and most of the day Wednesday. So basically, the last 2 days I've had stuff that NASA has planned for me to do, with all the agendas and the tours and all that kind of stuff, and it was fantastic, and I had a mission, and I got to do. But tomorrow and 95% of the day Wednesday, they got nothing planned. So pretty much here by myself with nothing to do. Probably going to do some work, and I don't know, I'll figure out how to pass the time. And then Wednesday at 5:15, we're going to meet up at the press site again at NASA. They're going to get a bus for us again. They're going to take us to the launch site that we were supposed to be, or the viewing site that we were supposed to be at today, and we'll get to watch the rocket launch Wednesday. Hopefully Wednesday. We want to see it Wednesday. Which I was even more bummed when I found out that it was scrubbed, because on our way to the Falcon 9 pad this morning, we drove right past the viewing area where we were going to watch the rocket from, and we are so close. It's crazy. We were so when I watched the Atlas V on Saturday when I got here, I was 12 miles away. This viewing site that we're going to be at is 2.5 miles away, and it feels like you're practically on top of it. It's like it feels like you're a football field away from it, but you're 2.5 miles. But when I looked at it, you're like, wow, the rocket's like right there. So I was super excited when we passed that. I was like, this is going to be even better than I thought. Like, we are right there to see this rocket launch. So that was super exciting, and then of course it got scrubbed. But hopefully, if it goes Wednesday, then we will see. Then we will still see the launch from the viewing area. Let's see what else. Yeah, so we'll depart there. We'll watch it from that viewing area, and then they'll just bring us back to our cars, and we'll be done. So yeah, I just have to follow along with the launch on my own here and see if it's going to go off. So that's the plan. That's what went down today. It was super exciting. It was pretty awesome. Didn't get anything to show and tell today as far as like swag, but got tons of photos, tons of videos. I'm still going. That may be what I do for the next couple of days. I got some work I got to do, but for the I may try to edit some of those videos or see if I can put something up. I got limited computing power because I didn't bring a regular computer with me down here. But I'll see if I can post some of the stuff that the videos and the photos and all that kind of stuff that I've taken over the last couple days. We'll start to get some of that posted maybe. So let's see. Deborah said, enjoy the sunshine and free time. Maybe take the Space Lobster to a seafood restaurant for lunch. There you go. There's an idea. Take the lobster with me. I had so many people ask me about the lobster. So it started yesterday. I took the lobster to the Kennedy Space Center, which, of course, I forgot to take pictures with the lobster there. But going into the Kennedy Space Center, they search your bags. And so I had the space lobster in my backpack. And the guy starts searching my bag, and he just stops, and he goes, I got to ask, what's with the lobster? So I had to explain the space lobster to the security guy that was searching my bag at the Kennedy Space Center. And then I didn't tell anybody on the NASA social group about the space lobster at all. I was like, I'm going to get to the Falcon 9. I'm going to take some pictures of the space lobster. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to say anything to anybody. And so I get to the Falcon 9, and I set my bag down, and I whip out the space lobster, and I start taking selfies and getting some pictures with the space lobster. And then I got my space lobster T-shirt on under this, so I pulled off my polo shirt, and I've got my space lobster T-shirt. I'm taking photos there, and like 7 or 8 people, part of the group, they're like, "Gotta ask you, what's with the lobster?" Like, this kind of funny. Why do you have a lobster that you're taking selfies with right now? So I got to explain the story, which everybody thought was pretty funny, but it was definitely interesting I'm standing there with a Falcon 9 rocket taking selfies, holding a lobster. Everybody's looking at me like, what is this guy doing? So yeah, that went down in front of the Falcon 9 rocket today. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with the space. I might, maybe I'll take some space lobster pictures with the lobster on the beach. I don't know. I got lots of time. I'll figure out something to do. So Carrie said, "Where is Elon Musk? Is he in the vicinity?" From what I was told, he is here somewhere. Presumably he was busy today. But yeah, he should be. I don't know. I was told he was here. I don't know that for sure. That's unconfirmed. But yeah. So what else can I tell you about today? I don't know. That might be about it. I was had a great day. It was still fun, even with the scrub. The scrub definitely brought it down a little bit, but it was a very fun day getting to see, especially like the vehicle assembly building and, of course, the rocket. Like, that was awesome to be that close to it, and knowing, like, not even just like being that close to a rocket, but being close to the rocket that's going to go up to like to space. Like, I mean, I've now seen, we went to Kennedy Space Center, and so I've seen the actual rockets and things like that up close and personal, and so that was pretty cool to see. But I don't know, there's just something different looking at this Falcon 9 on the pad, like being readied for launch, and knowing like, hey, this is one of the last times this rocket's going to be seen, because in a couple of hours, or at least that's what I thought at the time, in a couple of hours, this thing is going to be launched into outer space. And that was pretty cool to see that. And to see, I don't know, one of the other things that I thought was kind of cool is to see how much work was being done at the launch pad, even as of 11 o'clock this morning, when they were still on schedule for launch. But seeing all that work that was happening at the pad was, I mean, I don't know what they were doing. Like, they were moving steel around, and there were workers all over the place. Like, I don't know, it's... but some kind of last-minute preparations, they were still doing work at the pad this morning while we were walking around. So that was kind of interesting to see, because I don't know, I always think they move the rocket out there, and then they raise it vertical, and then it just sits there until T-0. So, but no, they were still doing a lot of work at the pad, even though it was launch day. So, let's see, what else can I say about today's... I don't know. That pretty much covers it. The 39B pad that we went to, that launch pad is huge. It's crazy huge. Like, launch pad 40 that we were at for the Falcon 9 looks tiny compared to the 39B. Like, that thing is massive. So that was pretty cool, and we were like, we're basically driving around in like a Kennedy Space Center tour bus is what they had us going around in, and they literally drove the bus like right up onto the launch pad, which was, I don't know, it was kind of cool. I just thought that was a weird concept in my head that we were driving a tour bus up onto the launch pad. So, but yeah, that was that was my day. Ended a little bit earlier than I thought it would, and then I spent 3 hours trying to rearrange my travel. That was not fun. So I hope I don't have to do that again. Hopefully it just launches on Wednesday, and then I can figure out how to get home, because like I said at the beginning, as of right now, I do not have a flight home. I got a hotel, and I got a rental car until Thursday, and I do not have a flight home. I canceled my flight. I got a refund. And hopefully I can just get on a flight on Thursday and go home. I hope. We'll see. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait and play it by ear and book a flight Wednesday night, I guess. So, how many steps have you put in since getting to the Cape? That's a good question. I had about 15,000 steps yesterday. Today's a lot lighter. I only got 8,000 steps today. So we didn't do as much walking today. A lot of time in the bus today and a lot of short walks today. Yesterday, I think most of my walking was at the Kennedy Space Center. We were walking everywhere. So that's where I got most of the steps in, was at the Kennedy Space Center. So there you have it. Day 3 in Cape Canaveral, NASA Social, day number 2. I did mention, we had 39 people here, from what I was told, for the NASA Social event. Unfortunately, there are at least 11 that are not coming back. They're not staying. That's super sad for those people that came down and are not going to be able to see the launch. A lot of them had commitments and had to go home. We had students here, students that got invited that had to go back to class. We had people with conflicts, teachers that had to go back and go to work. And I mean, I got work to do too, but luckily I can do most of my stuff from here. Super sad that there's at least 11 people that are definitely not staying. And then there were another, 10 or 20 people that were unsure, like including myself at the time when we were on the bus. I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't know what I'm going to do. I definitely wanted to stay, but wasn't sure. But I'm staying, definitely staying. I want to see this thing launch, especially after we passed the viewing site, and I was like, wow, we're like right there. Like this really is kind of like, I don't know, once in a lifetime. I would like it to be more than once in a lifetime, but it's, I came down Saturday, obviously, and watched the rocket launch on my own for the Atlas V, and I was 12 miles away. Nowhere, not even close to where we're supposed to be for this Falcon 9 launch, so I think it will be well worth it to stay a couple extra days to see this from 2.5 miles away. So that's the plan. I'm staying. Just cross your fingers and hope it launches on Wednesday, because I don't want to go through the travel arrangements again. And hopefully I can get a flight out on Thursday. So, all right. Well, I've said it all. Maybe I've said too much. I don't know. But that's where we stand. For now, I'm going to head out, figure out the rest of my night, and get situated and figure out what I'm going to do with my time tomorrow. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye on Twitter and Instagram and even Facebook too, because I'll be posting some of the pictures and videos that I've got up that I've taken for the last couple days. I'll probably end up doing a lot of that next 2 days since I got some time. But if you're on Facebook, you got to go to the photo album. You got to go to the Overlook Horizon page, go to photos, and there's a photo album called NASA Social, where all my photos have been getting uploaded to. For some reason, it's not notifying anybody or when I upload those. I mean, I think only a few people are seeing them. But if you go on our Facebook page and you go to the photos, NASA Social album, you'll see a bunch of the photos we had. Or if you're on Twitter or Instagram, I've been posting updates there as well. Those are getting seen a lot more. So yeah, you can always head over to Twitter or Instagram, check out the information or the photos that I've been posting there, and then I'll post a couple of little, they'll probably be like micro videos that I'll post. I'm going to do, my plan is when I get back, I'm going to do a big kind of wrap up video and show you everything that I got to see, because I've been talking about it, but you really haven't gotten to see it yet, mostly because it's on my phone and I don't really have a way to show you, and it's very raw video, like it needs to be edited. So so when I get back, I'm going to put a big wrap-up video together, and we'll have that out. But tomorrow and Wednesday, maybe I'll have some little micro videos that I put out on Instagram or Twitter or maybe Facebook. So keep an eye on those. So we're live on Facebook right now, but I'm gonna re-upload this video on YouTube. So for those people watching on YouTube right now, make sure you subscribe to our Facebook channel, because you would have caught this live if you were subscribed to our Facebook channel or following or whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about. So, Deborah and Carrie both said, I see the new pictures as they post. Okay, that's good to know. Good to know somebody's seeing them. For some reason, they weren't showing up for me as new posts, and I know there were a couple other people that said that too. But that's good. At least they're showing up, and you're seeing the pictures that are coming through. So I've been posting a whole bunch, like I said, on Instagram and Twitter. But I've got I can't see, it's on my phone, but I've got over 700 or 800 pictures that I've taken as part of this, photos and videos combined. I got like 800 files, and I think I've posted maybe a dozen pictures. So there's a lot more to come. There's a lot of them are no good or repeated attempts at the same picture, but there's a lot of video. I focused a whole bunch on video while I was down here, because I do have a plan in mind for trying to come up with a video. See if it's any good. I don't know. So I'm going to try to do that wrap-up video, and I'll post that sometime when I get home. I don't know when that'll be, but hopefully I get home this weekend, and then I can work on it then. So that's the plan. All right, I think that's enough. I've said that like 4 times now, but thanks everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm going to kill it now, and I appreciate it. Go check out the photos and videos, and keep an eye on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram next couple days, and I'll post some more. So, all right, thanks guys. Cross your fingers. We want a good launch on Wednesday, 6:52 p.m. new time, 6:52 p.m. Eastern time, Wednesday. Hopefully, SpaceX Falcon 9, the test mission, will be launching Wednesday. I hope. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good night. We'll talk to you later. See ya.